What's going on, y'all? I hope y'all are all having a good morning. I've been up for the last 4 hours. That's right. It's 8 a.m. and I've been up for 4 hours since 4 a.m. Had to go in early today. So with that being said, hit a thumbs up. If you like it, sub, hit the bell. You know the drill. With that being said, let's get into the video. Here we go. Dillian Whyte, Povetkin 2, suspended indefinitely, according to this article. So pretty much what they were saying in this article is the fact that Povetkin came down with COVID, which we knew, and he ended up going to the hospital. Well, he came out of the hospital and had to go back to the hospital, if I read it correctly, and now he's going back into training, but the training that he's gone back into is being watched by doctors. Now, this is what I don't understand. Why would it be suspended indefinitely if he is training underneath the supervision of doctors? Okay, there's nothing wrong with getting healthy before you can do something, right? So I don't have any issues with Povetkin, taking his time to get back healthy, because he did come down with COVID. And I'm not going to get into an argument over the severity of that, but the thing is, he was sick, he went to the hospital, it's documented, and so on. I know Dillian Whyte doesn't believe it. Dillian Whyte thinks he was just taking the extra time to get in shape because he was knocked down twice and he feels that he can beat him in the rematch. But the bottom line is, Dillian Whyte, you lost that first fight. So you can't sit here and claim that the guy is scared to fight you again when he knocked you out. He didn't only knock you out, he put you to sleep. So I don't agree with Dillian Whyte in that aspect of him saying that Povetkin needed more time to get ready and Povetkin was scared of the rematch at all, because I really don't see that type of mentality in Povetkin to be scared of fighters. You're talking about a guy who's been in there with AJ, been in there with Whyte, been in there with Klitschko, and so many more great fighters. So again, I don't think this guy would be scared to fight anybody. Now, the only question I have is, what happens to the mandatory slot now that Povetkin is not going to fight Dillian Whyte, if that ends up being the actual end result? Who gets it? Does Dillian Whyte by default automatically become the WBC silver champion again due to Povetkin not being able to uphold his rematch clause? Or will the belt have to be vacated and somebody else will have to fight Dillian Whyte for it to figure out who the mandatory should be? I don't know. I think the latter is more than likely, that Dillian Whyte will have to fight somebody else for that vacated belt, especially if Povetkin's not going to come back and fight. Now, with Povetkin going into training, I do believe he will come back to fight. But at the same time, I do feel like there is a rematch clause. And I don't think that you getting sick with COVID exonerates you from being able to uphold your end of the contract. I mean, I can understand it delaying the fight, but unless you're going to retire Povetkin, you have to fight him. Contractually, you have to fight him. The only reason why a fight got postponed was because you got sick. But whenever you get over being sick, you don't have a choice. So you have to fight him. This isn't a Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury type situation to where, the contract just expires. Like, I would imagine legally that you had a legal standing to not have the fight because you were sick. However, Dillian Whyte should have a legal standing to fight you when you're not sick, regardless of the amount of time that it takes you to get healthy, if he wants to stress it and push it, which I think he should. Now, again, it did say at the end of the article that Povetkin has gone back into training for the last couple of weeks. I believe it said last couple of weeks. If not last couple of weeks, he definitely just went back into training. And he's training to fight with doctor supervision. So I don't understand why it would be postponed indefinitely. I don't understand why it could not happen. Now, maybe Dillian Whyte needs to take some type of tune-up, warm-up fight in between this fight while Povetkin recovers. I don't know, but it just seems a little suspect to me in the terms of the fight's not going to happen anymore. Like, I don't understand what about this would keep them from fighting at all. And I know it's kind of repetitive because I said it a few times, but I'm just trying to think in my mind while I'm driving around what really about this would stop them from fighting, and I can't think of anything that would really stop them from fighting. Like, it's a little ridiculous to me, in all honesty. I don't know what's up with these fighters and I want to uphold their rematch clauses. Like, if you sign the contract, get in there and do it. That's the bottom line, in my opinion. So, again, to conclude this video, because I'm not going to talk on it for too long because I'm almost over at this other place that I have to be with this little short drive. Here's the deal that I look at. Do I believe Povetkin was ducking Dillian Whyte when the fight got postponed? No. Do I believe that he came down with COVID? Yes, more than likely I do believe that is the case because, again, he did go to the hospital. That can be documented. People can make the argument, well, it's Russia, you can't believe it. I don't buy into that. And I don't buy into a guy like Povetkin being scared to fight somebody, regardless how many times he got knocked down by Dillian Whyte, because at the end of the day, those two knockdowns that Dillian Whyte did to Povetkin did Dillian Whyte absolutely zero good because he went to sleep. And Povetkin won with a one shot. And if you can one shot somebody, you could definitely one shot them again. And I don't see how you would fear somebody that you know if you touch them right, they're going to sleep. So that's how I look at it. I still want to see the rematch. I'm still got a question mark in my mind of how this can be suspended indefinitely when Povetkin has gone back into training. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? Do y'all think the rematch shouldn't happen because of COVID? Do you think it should happen because of COVID? Just, it gets pushed out, extended. I mean, let me know what y'all think, because in my mind, the fight still needs to happen as long as Povetkin doesn't retire. If he retires, then it is what it is, and the end result is the same. He vacates the belt, and Dillian Whyte has to fight somebody else for the mandatory slot.